Greetings metalheads and welcome to No Nonsense Metal Reviews. I'm George and today I'm back with a little unboxing video just showing off a few things that I've acquired recently. Vinyl, no surprise there, based on the size of the package. I'm expecting 3 articles that I stumbled upon. They're actually US imports. So these are, distributed through the UK by some American importer, some US importer, and absolute bargains. I mean, like really surprisingly low prices. So just so you know, this is authentic anyway. Still sealed after I've cleverly removed my address. Still sealed. Pull that off. Let's get stuck in. There's always something so lovely about unpacking lovely vinyl, new vinyl. So start for the first article, the first one that comes out anyway. Ooh. Very nice indeed. I do appreciate the fact that a lot of sellers these days, or a lot of labels and manufacturers, actually send or pack the vinyl out of the outer sleeve so that you don't get the vinyl breaching the outer sleeve and, you know, leaving that horrible mark on the spine. But first article is from a modern death metal band. Can't quite recall the country of origin on this one. It's a band that I'm only very sort of primitively actually discovering. I'm in the early stages of getting into this band, but this is Carnation with Chapel of Abhorrence. And that is an amazing album cover. Absolutely stunning bit of artwork there. Truly glorious. I'd be very surprised if that isn't a Dan Seagrave cover. Very surprised indeed. It's a lovely gatefold vinyl. Very nice indeed. It looks to be in fantastic condition. This is new, of course. It's a full-length album. Can't quite recall off the top of my head when this album was released. 2018, so it's a few years old now. Credits. Well, who have we got here? We have, well, the album is actually mastered by Dan Swano, so you've got a pretty good indication that this is going to be a decent album. What about artwork then? Designed by Carnation. Oh no, artwork by someone else that I can't quite pronounce the name of, but I'm very surprised indeed. That's certainly got that Dan Swano sort of feel about it. But this is Carnation, and it says here on the outer sleeve we've got opaque white vinyl, strictly limited to 400 units worldwide. I didn't even know that. I just thought this was a standard vinyl. Very nice indeed, and I think it cost me about £10. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at this nice white vinyl. Is it going to be sort of a bone white vinyl? Yeah, very nice indeed. I do like coloured vinyl. I'm always saying it, but I really do. Something just so nice and special about white vinyl. But Carnation is, for those unfamiliar with the band also, it's a modern death metal band. Very much in the kind of same sort of modern vein as bands like maybe Entrails, worshipping the classic early, mainly Scandinavian death metal scene, along the same sort of lines as bands like Skeletal Remains, for example. Very much rooted in the old school, but a really good band. I discovered these guys not that long ago. Discovered Carnation via just basically going down the rabbit warren of recommended artists on Spotify, and just kept delving deeper and deeper and deeper until I discovered these guys. And I have to say, really enjoying it. Really impressive stuff. Very cheap vinyl, so I thought, hey, why not pick up a copy? As I'm kind of enjoying quite a lot of the more modern, old school style death metal, the kind of revisionist stuff, the bands that are bringing back those old school styles. Bands like Tremulation, discovered recently. We've got Phobophilic. There's quite a few of these bands, but yeah, really decent death metal. Chapel of Abhorrence looks like a lovely article. So next piece that we've got in here, yes, from the UK we've got Unfathomable Ruination, and this looks like a 4-track EP. This is Decennium Ruinae, not sure. I'm assuming that's Latin, but that is a pretty awesome bit of artwork there. Looks very much sort of Games Workshop, very much Warhammer, that kind of Warhammer 40,000 vibe going on there. Interesting kind of backstory with this band, because I discovered them years ago, like when I was really quite young, an early teen, just getting into heavy music at all. on the very extreme end of the heavy music scale. You should say I was at that point. I was already a big fan of bands like Slipknot. I was getting further and further into the thrash metal scene. Bands like Slayer or Testament, but then I started to get into death metal and stumbled upon this band. I don't even know how, and I was very young, and it was with their first album, and I can't quite remember the name of it, but it was a great album. I absolutely loved that album. I think there was a track called Carved Inherent Delusion or something along those lines, and that was so savage. I thought this was the most evil sounding stuff, brutal sounding stuff on the planet. Let's tear this shrink wrap off here so we can actually reveal the goodies within. And then they had the second album, I think it was called Finitude. Can't quite remember, to be honest. Again, followed that, and then just, I guess, moved on to other things, maybe listening to other bands, and just failed to remain up to date with them until fairly recently, when I stumbled upon this and thought, hey, I need to delve a little bit deeper into their catalogue. And actually, they've got some great stuff there. Nice insert, little printed insert there. Cool stuff. I always like it when you get inclusions of sort of tour, I guess, like line-up posters and things like that, tour posters. Really awesome stuff. But we've got, ooh, looks like a nice colour vinyl as well, actually. Oh yeah, that is an interesting colour scheme. I think this is Willow Tip Records. Really awesome stuff here. Very nice indeed. Yeah, I can't really say too much about the music. Basically, it's brutal death metal. It's quite technical, quite complex, very involved stuff. But to be honest, it's they're a good band, very accomplished musicians, very good musicians to be playing such technical music like this. Definite win for fans of bands like Cryptopsy. If you like Cryptopsy, Inherit Disease, Obscura, bands like that, then yeah, you're probably going to really enjoy this. If you like Decapitated as well, if you like Aborted, it's got that real brutal edge. Really awesome bit of artwork there. Very, very cool indeed. Nice little release. And I believe we've got one more in here, last but not least. Yes, of course. From the previously mentioned there, Decapitated. So this is pressed on red with black splatter vinyl, limited to 1,500 copies. This is the first Damned. I do love that artwork. That's got serious tattoo kind of design potential going on there. But this release, released in 2021, this contains the two demos, the early demos from the band. From 1998, we have the Eye of Horus demo, and then from 1997, we've got Cemetery Gardens demo, with some pretty classic materials. I really do love the debut album, debut full-length album, Winds of Creation. Absolutely love that album. You get tracks that feature on that album here, tracks like 9 Steps, for example, and I think Dance Macabre. But this is a really cool release, actually. I do have this on CD already. I've had it for a few years, and I stumbled upon this, and again, it was about tenner. So I thought, hey, for a lovely vinyl, especially when it's limited like that, I'm willing to pay a little bit of money and have this in the collection. So me and Decapitated go way back now, actually. Again, I discovered them when I was quite young, early teen again, just getting into extreme music, the very extreme end of the heavy music spectrum. Discovered them through the album Nihility, which is my favourite Decapitated album. I know it's a lot of fans' favourite album as well. Very much looking forward to catching them in December, I believe, on the tour, which is commemorating the anniversary of that. I think it's 20 years of the album. And they're playing that album in full, which I'm very excited about indeed. Very much looking forward to that. Absolutely love that album. But that, again, alongside bands like Unfathomable, Ruination, who I discovered that time, alongside Immolation as well, I thought this is the heaviest stuff out there. You cannot get heavier than Nihility. You cannot get heavier than Close to a World Below, or that first album from Unfathomable, Ruination, can't quite remember. So, been a fan of this band for a long time, and I really do appreciate and really enjoy this early material. The demo stuff has a proper demo feel to it, harkens right to the Nihilist demo sort of quality. You know, this is proper old school death metal here. A little bit, you know, slightly late to the party, you could say, but none less brilliant. So let's have a look at that vinyl then. I'm intrigued to see what red and black splatter looks like. Oh, that's a stunning bit of vinyl. Look at that. When you hold it up to the light as well, it just looks so cool. That's a really high quality press. Not like some splatter vinyl, which is just basically just like a white vinyl with a bit of red thrown on it or something like that, or a bit of black here and there. No, this is proper cool. Awesome stuff. Love it. Nice wax inner sleeve there. Very cool. The First Damned from Polish death metal heavyweights. Absolutely brilliant band. Love this band. Unfortunately, I haven't really been keeping up to date with them over the last couple of years. The previous release, or the most recent release, I should say, Cancer Culture, I do have that album, and I have listened to it a few times. It's a great album, but I just haven't really gotten into it properly. Similar story with, I think it was Antivist, previous album to that. I think the last album that I really picked up at the time of release and was just spinning, you know, routinely was Blood Mantra, actually. So a little bit out of date with that. However, I do regularly revisit Winds of Creation and Nihility quite regularly, actually, to be honest. Even Carnival is Forever. That's not, I don't think that's a bad album. I know it's quite underrated, but yeah, awesome. And then, oh, it looks like we've got a insert as well on the other side. So there's a nice gatefold. Ooh, I do like that. You've got the kind of the black. You've got like the negative colour scale there. Very nice indeed. This has a proper old school death metal vibe to it. It kind of reminds me of the demo compilation that we've had recently from Dismember as well. It's got that kind of vibe, proper old school vibe there. Really, really freaking cool. Very much looking forward to giving that a spin. So there we have it. 3 latest vinyl additions to my collection. As you saw, the unboxing there. So just to take you back through, on a limited run of 400, we've got Carnation with Chapel of Abhorrence. Really cool. Loving that. Awesome artwork. You can I'm sure you could probably get where I'm coming from with the kind of assumption that it's a Dan Seagrave cover. Obviously not, but very, very good indeed. Then we've got a nice EP here from Unfathomable, Ruination, technical brutal death metal from the UK. Really awesome stuff. Love that artwork. And then we've got old school legendary Polish death metal in the form of The First Damned from Decapitated, out on Nuclear Blast Records. So there you have it. Thank you very much for watching, my friends. Do feel free to share your thoughts and opinions on these albums. Do you have these particular albums? Are you a fan of these particular bands? Very interested to hear, of course. Do feel free to like and subscribe, and please do check back soon for more reviews and recommendations of all the good heavy things. But take care, my friends, and above all, stay heavy.